There's a lot of people that I find to be credible, intelligent people who are interested in this case, and that's the other thing that the people who are interested in it, I almost find more compelling than the evidence or lack thereof. But
yeah, I think the other thing is, I mean, like, look, we can argue about the details of the entire episode, which is worthwhile up to a point. But I think you also have to ask, does it matter? I mean, like you asked before, I mean, what if, okay, fine, let's say this entire pregnancy was a hoax. I mean, there's obviously a credibility issue there to some extent, but shouldn't the standard really be some sort of hypocrisy or some sort of real public policy implication for caring about a politician's private life? I mean, I think it makes sense to write about Larry Craig, who has years of anti-gay voting record behind him when he gets caught in the airport bathroom. That makes sense to me. But I don't see the hypocrisy angle here. I don't see the public policy implication that we should be spending so much time on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, so I don't understand what the motive is. I mean, I understand using that, people have said, oh, she's using it as a prop child, but she has 4 other children that she's doing the exact same thing with, and they look like hers. It's,
and the line that this was going to be some great boon to her among anti-choice voters. I mean, come on, Sarah Palin has her entire political career. She has sterling anti-choice credentials. Even if this was Bristol's child, how would it be any different for her teenage daughter to not have an abortion with this Down syndrome child? I mean, any political benefit would have been just incredibly marginal. It wasn't even that big of a story during the campaign.
I just don't understand. I mean, if she was running for president, which she does not appear to be, if she was an incumbent, if she was if there was any reason to kind of need to take her down and to look into her past, then maybe. But I just don't understand. She's not the evil super genius. This is going to sound really condescending, maybe, but I think this is a little sophisticated for Sarah Palin. I don't find her to be someone who can do elaborate conspiracies take elaborate intelligence, and I think that most of her lies we're able to prove. Like I said, she'll talk. If you keep her talking long enough, she'll contradict herself. This is not something that I think that she could keep secret, or anyone else would be able to not keep secret. I mean, I personally, as a woman, if I was the governor, and I hate to defend her, but if I was the governor, I would absolutely be very, very secretive about my pregnancy, because that's something that your political enemies would absolutely pounce on, because suddenly you're unfit for the job because you're still having babies in your 40s and trying to run a state. I find that not to be...
But your staff would know, wouldn't they?
No, I wouldn't tell anybody. I think that's actually like a very legitimate thing to do if you are the governor of a very heavily male-dominated state. I mean, there's the last I looked, there was 27 males for every woman up there.
Right.
I mean, I understand why she would be hush-hush about it. I just do.
Right, and I mean, I think the point you just made also about just how elaborate a hoax this would be is really a crucial point. I mean, it's the same thing with the 9/11 truthers, and obviously this is on a much smaller scale. But I mean, for some of those conspiracy theories about 9/11 being an inside job, or being a controlled demolition, or being a missile, not a plane, all of them. I mean, it would involve hundreds, probably thousands of people in the federal government all being in on it and all keeping totally silent. And in this case, I think this is basically a smaller version of that. I mean, if you were to try to have a hoax pregnancy, as the theory goes, as the governor of the state, I mean, it would have to involve a circle of people outside of you and your family, which would be basically impossible, I think, to keep secret. So again, that gets back to the whole question of what is the alternative theory for what happened here, which I haven't heard from anyone who's written to me so far, anyways.
Theory and not evidence and not witnesses, and if the most we have is suspicion and unverified photographs of her not looking that pregnant. I mean, Tim, is there anything else? Because this was something that you found to be compelling. Well, so if you have something better,
No,
This is the time, because you said that you had proof. So
I'm not trying to team up on.
No.
I am so tight. I don't. Okay, first off, I don't need you to team up on him. I got enough personality for both of us. However, but like I do want to leave him dangling in the wind because he made a great claim, and great claims require great evidence. And this is, you know.
I claimed that I was going to prove that she was a dirty liar, not that Trig wasn't her son.
So we didn't get dirty down, but I mean, come on, really, liar, death panel. Come on. You know, I mean, you want to prove she's a liar,
right.
Boring, snore, not news. Tell me what you found that you think that leads some credibility to this theory.
The most compelling thing is that the pictures, there's multiple pictures of her out with bending over. And can we show the picture of her out with what it's supposed to look like on March 11th, which when she was 7 months pregnant, compared to what she did look like? I mean, the baby bump of her thing, there's no bump in her scar.
Okay. So can we not ever say the phrase "baby bump" on this show ever again? First off, okay, that's interesting. If we can, you know, verify the dates of those pictures, and just someone saying that's when they were taken doesn't mean it's verified.
But why? She's out events on dates that it was said. She was out at different things around the state on dates.
Did you independently verify this before you brought it up?
No, I didn't.
Okay, then no. Then the answer is no. So I mean that's.
And let me give you let me give you another example of. I mean, one of the pieces of this is that Palin's doctor, right before the election in 2008, actually released a statement about her health as part of the campaign, and there was a section about the pregnancy that some of these Trig birthers have tried to debunk. But this is a document that you can look up, written by this doctor, Dr. Kathy Baldwin Johnson from Alaska. And I mean, fine, like, is it possible that this is part of the hoax? Yeah, I guess, but this would be another person outside of her inner circle that would have to be in on it and have kept secret this whole time. I mean, not to mention probably a lot of these McCain campaign staffers who, as everyone remembers, by the end of the campaign hated Palin. There was a huge schism within the campaign.
And dished to anybody who would listen to them. I mean, everybody, because she has a way of grading on people, and that's what I've been covering, because I think that's the most compelling part of her character, is that she has these feuds and she tries to take down her enemy. Like, she doesn't understand there's a difference between an adversary and an enemy. And so she goes after people with both barrels, and then they retaliate. So, I mean, she's not someone that, because she's so charming, people keep secrets on. People love to dish about her because, A, it gets them, you know, a lot of publicity, and B, it's kind of, you know, it feels good to get revenge because she's actually quite mean. So,
sure,
I mean,
and the thing, I mean, I completely agree with you. And I mean, if you look historically at actual conspiracies that have been elaborate and more important things than this, like Watergate or Iran-Contra. I mean, the truth comes out ultimately. It sometimes takes a while, but when you have that many people involved in something, somebody's going to start talking about it, and usually the press will get to the bottom of it.
Yep, deep throat about the baby bump. Justin Elliot from Salon.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks a lot.